So taking a look back at Mississippi, last time we talked about HD16, so let's take a look at HD22. And again, now that we're talking about Mississippi, one of the big things here is just the raw number of folks who are registered to vote and thus who are expected to turn out in these elections really changes so much.
Yeah, I think what's interesting is, right, we've looked at districts with 150,000 registered voters, 50,000, and here we are with 16,000. And so just the importance for especially a new candidate to diagnose the size of the district, because it really changes the dynamics of what they need to do on a day-to-day basis and their expected cost. It's really going to focus where their efforts are going to need to go, and the efforts that get wasted in a lot of campaigns are often because they fail to do this step right off the bat.
That's true. That's definitely true. You look at, again, these numbers, right? You look at that D plus 5, that means that they have a 5% advantage that you're going to have to make up, and that's hard, right? That means a lot of mail, that means a lot of money, that means a lot of time spent, except in a district where there's just a little over 16,000 folks. 52 to 47 seems maybe approachable, but the more you're around in politics, the more that number is going to be a little scary, until you scroll down and you realize that what we're talking about here is 4,500 voters living in 3,200 households. If you head on down to this section, you see that it is 100 hours of door knocking. That is over the course of June, July, August, September, 4 months, 25 hours a month, which is something like 7 hours a week, which if a candidate told me he was working 7 hours a week, we'd be having a pep talk. The fact is that you can pass through this district the full 3 passes that I would like to see on your own without help. Obviously, you want volunteers, and you should, if you have the time, spend it knocking on these Republican doors to build your team, to build your base up, so that you can have real conversations with volunteers here. But it really means that, like you said, if you don't have name recognition, you don't have to build it, because you can move directly to the stage of building real connection.
Right, so you start to see the avatar of who is a potential successful candidate, where in other places it really is, they had to have served in these public offices before. They have to have a significant amount of funding in order to do advertising and marketing. It's somebody who is willing to do the work and to have that personal connection with voters is very likely to be able to win this district.
Yeah, well said. I would spend my time taking a look at this list right here, export it to CSV, pop it into my walk program. I think they use WebElect down here, and I would just start reaching out to people. And if you want to see one of these for your district, head on over to Bootstrap Office, scroll down and fill this out. Ryan and I will get an email and we'll contact you super shortly.
Yeah. Well, check it out.